morning, this is Good Investor. I hope you are having an amazing day. Wanted to drop this brand new video as we didn't speak about SOS for some time, and it is definitely going to be about it, as well as some of the updates of a quote-unquote potential short squeeze if that happens. So I just wanted to share my opinion on that, as well as some of the things that happen in the market. So as I usually do, I want to go through the market today, and it would be a little bit different. Instead of showing you the real S&P, I actually will show you what exactly I do to track S&P on my portfolio. And it is a leveraged ETF called SPXL. It's by Direxion, and it tracks the S&P 500, but it's a 3 times leverage. So in case you didn't know, I'm in love with 3 times leveraged portfolios, ETFs, and just because I believe in them, and this is a perfect exposure for me to get more returns for the things I'm interested. So as we can see, S&P did go up today, did do very well, and I looked at their non-leveraged S&P. It was around less than 1%, around 1%, but as we can see, leverage is actually better. So we got around 3%, 2.8%, and it did do very well. And as we can see, I do hold a lot of their contracts. It obviously did bring a couple of great returns. So market did well, and let's look what SOS did since we're going to talk about them. And SOS, as we can see, is down. So this is something that I don't like when I'm buying some companies, and SOS included. As you can see, I still hold them. The 27 contracts did not change at all, but I do not like this. I don't like that the company is going down when the overall market is doing well. And we saw this for a couple of days already, and for the past week, they've been down for 11%. Whereas overall market did do better. At least they're not down. I mean, 1% versus negative 11. That is insane difference. And this means that if you would invest on SPXL, you would actually do way better. So this is definitely something that I don't like. I usually look at such differences between the market and the companies I invest. This does not mean that my thought around SOS did change. I do believe in fundamentals. As I said, I like where the company is going. But just an opinion that I don't like where this is, this reverse to the market thing going on. So as we can see, as I said, I mean, we're down, and I'm actually down a negative 80%, which is insane. I mean, it was negative 75. The first videos that I was doing, it is actually going more than that. So do I believe in the stock? Absolutely, yes. I mean, let's look at some of the things that happen in the market. So actually a day ago, yesterday, SOS released these news on their website, April 20th. They said they entered into agreement to purchase 575 cryptocurrency mining rigs. And this is a very great number, especially for the growing company like SOS. And we can see that the company is taking a lot of action towards their cryptocurrency operations. And as we all know by now, SOS is doing a lot more than this, but cryptocurrency operations is one of them, and they are actually increasing that potential as much as they can. So this is, as I go down, this is actually cryptocurrency mining rigs that are focused on Ethereum, so another cryptocurrency. So they're both in Bitcoin and Ethereum side, might be even more than that, but mainly on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this means that by buying these mining rigs, they are increasing their exposure on Ethereum specifically. So it says that under the terms of agreement, the company is expected to obtain approximately 400 gigahertz of Ethereum hash rate. So as we said previously, hash rate is very important for mining companies like SOS, and there are a couple of other companies like RIOT and Marathon as well. So they pay a lot of attention to hash rate, and hash rate actually identifies to the pace of the company being able to solve the algorithms of the blockchain in order to get paid for that. So as we already know, solving those algorithms is actually important to get paid as a way of getting paid for each transaction. So the faster the hash rate, the faster they solve those algorithms, the more money they can make. So obviously this is a very great news, and it is definitely going to impact the company positively. I don't like that the stock price did not get under, it did not get encountered for this. We can see that in April 20th, it maybe did do some impact here, but overall for the whole week, I do not like that they are actually down below the market. So this is very good. So another thing that I started noticing around Reddit is that a lot of companies are, not a lot of companies, but a lot of users, including a couple of my friends as well, they are seeing SOS and they're trying to compare SOS with some of the larger companies like RIOT, and that freaks me out. And I'll tell you why. Because first of all, there's a big difference between size and I do not like to compare oranges with apples. I would rather do it apples to apples, obviously. And we can see that here, for example, for Ethereum specifically, if this agreement goes well, and the hash rate turns out to be 400 gigahertz, if we go to RIOT blockchain, we can see that actually the hash rate for them is 1.3 exahashes per second. So what does that even mean for you? So first of all, let's see the difference between exa and giga, and we can look at here. So it means that here it says giga means 1 billion, so 1 billion bytes, whereas tera, the next stage after giga, it's 1 trillion, from 1 billion to 1 trillion, and then peta is 1,000 trillions, if we can call it that way, and then it goes exa, which is 1,000 trillions, which is insane, right? Look at the difference: giga, and then tera, and then peta, and then exa. So you can see how big of a difference it is between RIOT and SOS, and we can see that for RIOT, for example, it says they're expecting a delivery of more RIGS, which could actually impact their hash rate and increase it from 1.3 to 2.3 exahashes. So there's a massive difference between the two. So I definitely do not like the comparison when they see SOS as a RIOT and look at it that way. I look SOS as more of a competitor, not a large competitor, but rather a small competitor which is growing. So I definitely would like to look at it that way and do my due diligence that way as well. So another point what I want to make is talk a little bit about the short volumes, and as we usually do, the short volume is around 18%, and it did not change that much since the last time we spoke. What did change is actually the short volume. So if we look at not the short volume, but rather the short shares availability. So the last time we spoke, it was definitely about half of this, if I'm not mistaken, and now it actually increased, so 650,000, which is so look at it this way. So the good thing is that there's less people shorting it because there's more shares available. But the bad news is for that many people waiting for a short squeeze coming, that is a sad news, because including myself, don't get me wrong. I mean, I am waiting for a short squeeze to come, but think of it that as there's less people shorting, the potential for short squeeze happening is actually becoming lower as well. Does not mean that this is 100% diminishing, because short volume of 18% is also a lot. And just having 650,000 shares available is also not that big, but at the end of the day, it does diminish comparing the two numbers since the last time we spoke. And if we look at the short, we'll talk about borrow fee as well, but if we look at the short volume trend, we can see that it was around 28 on at the beginning of April, around 28%. When it was April 7th, and then it did go down since then. It was steadily going down. The bottom was actually on April 16th, and let's look at what happened at the stock price on April 16th. So if we look here, it was actually not at its highest even. So I don't like that the market didn't even react here. So it did actually go up a little bit and then even down than it was previously. So essentially, I guess it did. So I guess if we look at here, it did make a little bit of impact, but not that much. So we can see that the market did started selling it off. So comparing these two numbers, I don't find a rationale here. This is not making sense to me, but the short volume ratio is going up right now. So a lot of interesting things is going on in the market right now, and perhaps one of those reasons of sell-offs is that a lot of people are not being patient enough to hold the amount of stocks they have. So that could be another thing that sell-offs actually are happening, not only from the institutional side, but also from the retail side, like me and you. So, and then the last metric that I wanted to look today is the short borrow fee rate, which is around 21%. It used to be around, I think it was around 30 to 40%. Remind me if I'm wrong, but 21% did go down as well. So this is also because there's less demand for people shorting it. So again, good thing that the company is less looked at the shorted company, but the other side is that the potential for short squeeze happening is actually diminishing as well. So I think that is it that I wanted to share about SOS today, and the update is as of actually April 20th. So let's wait what April 21st comes in. But as of now, I think it does make sense to a lot of us what is going on in the market. And again, I wanted to highlight the point, and I want to make sure that I'm transparent enough with you. I do not like this trend, whereas the market is going up and going up ridiculously. Overall, technology sector actually did very well. And another ETF that is tracking the technology sector only, we can see that they also went up by about 3%. So actually they outperformed the market. So we can see that everyone did go up except not just SOS, but SOS, of course, did not go up. So that being said, I think I can conclude the video. Just wanted to share my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the possibility of short squeeze happening diminishes, or I'm wrong? I'll talk to you later. Love you.